Well, good morning. How is everyone this glorious day? You feel good? Hello. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Unity of Tucson. I'm Reverend Dr. Jonathan Zenz. I'm the senior minister at this glorious spiritual center where we gather every Sunday to celebrate the good in the world, to celebrate love, to celebrate light, to celebrate life, to celebrate all the attributes of the divine that we are. And so that's what we're here to do today. Does that sound like a good plan? It sounds like a good plan to me. If you feel like you want to move your body on our opening song, feel free to do so. It ain't hard to see all that's going wrong. I know it's far too easy now to sing a sad song.
Sing a sad song, sing a sad song, sing a sad song, sad, sad song.
Lying on the ground never help no one. When you get knocked down, you know you gotta get back up.
Gotta get back.
You gotta get back up.
Gotta get back up.
You gotta look on the bright side.
Look on the bright side.
There's never been a better time to spread a little happiness, spread a little love. It only takes a little bit, but it'll be enough. When the world is cruel, turn your gray skies blue. Yeah, it's up to me and you to spread a little happiness.
Spread a little happiness, spread a little bit of happiness.
Spread a little happiness.
Spread a little happiness, spread a little bit of happiness.
When the waters rise and there's no dry land, and your brother cries for you to lend that helping hand.
Lend a helping, lend a helping, lend a helping hand.
We gotta look on the bright
Ooh,
side.
look on the bright side.
In the middle of the darkest night, well, we can make the sun shine. When we spread a little happiness, spread a little love. It only takes a little bit, but it'll be enough. When the world is cruel, turn your gray skies blue. Yeah, it's up to me and you to spread a little happiness.
Spread a little happiness, spread a little bit of happiness.
Spread a little happiness.
Spread a little happiness, spread a little bit
Come
of
on, y'all.
happiness.
Look on the bright side, never a better time. Look on the bright side to make the sun shine. Look on the bright side, never a better time. Look on the bright side to make the sun shine. When we spread a little happiness, spread a little love. Spread a little happiness, spread a little love. It only takes a little bit, but it'll be enough. When the world is cruel, turn your gray skies blue. Yeah, it's up to me and you to spread a little happiness.
Spread a little happiness, spread a little bit of
Spread a
happiness.
little happiness.
Spread a little happiness, spread a little bit of
Spread a
happiness.
little happiness.
Spread a little happiness, spread a little bit of
Spread a
happiness.
little happiness.
Spread a little happiness, spread a little bit of
Spread a
happiness.
little happiness.
Spread a little happiness, spread a little bit of
Spread a
happiness.
little happiness.
Spread a little happiness, spread a little bit of happiness.
Yeah, that's what we're here to do, spread a little happiness. I'm just taking a moment to take it all in, to take in the magnificent faces of God that I see all around me. And I invite us all to just look around. Look at the faces of God all around. I mean, how awesome is it that God is expressing itself in such beautiful, beautiful way by means of each and every one of us. Yeah. So once again, good morning and welcome to Unity of Tucson. We are a spiritual community that gathers together every single Sunday to celebrate with this purpose in mind, that we are here to explore the principles of New Thought in order that we may master spiritual understanding, find personal purpose, and develop a spiritual path. That's what Unity is all about. And one thing that I like to say, I used to say it all the time. I don't say it nearly as often as I used to, but you may not believe everything you hear today. I know, shocking, right? You may not believe everything you hear today, and I think that that's actually a good thing, because what I have found is that skepticism and questioning is what has drawn me into greater insight on my spiritual path. So if something does butt up against your belief system here today, here's my recommendation. Just be willing to take a look at it free of judgment. See what that idea is and see how it contrasts with another idea you possibly have, and see what works better, because I'm not here to tell you what to think, and I'm not here to tell you what to believe. You get to decide that for yourself. It's one of the foundational premises, and there's a word that's not coming to mind. Not tenet, that's not the word I want. Principle, it's one of the principles that I am supportive of, and that is that we are living lives of choice and action. And you get to decide what that looks like for yourself. Now, we do have a vision and a mission here at Unity of Tucson. I would love for us as a community to say out loud first these words of our vision statement. Let's say this together. We envision a world awakened to its magnificence. The vision is a manner in which we may choose to see the world, and the mission are steps that we can apply in our lives to allow that vision to come into expression. So let us share together these words of our mission statement. Love only. Forgive everything. Remember who you are. Let's just take a moment to settle into perhaps what might be a deeper meaning of those words. We say them every single week, and I would never want them to become just rote recitations. So just take a breath into the idea and deepen into what it means for each and every one of us personally to love only. What does that look like? What world might unfold when we love only? No conditions, no exceptions. What does life look like when we are rooted in forgiveness, where we forgive everything? Recognizing first and foremost that forgiveness is an inside job, that our work is to be forgiving of ourselves. And what I like to think is that to be forgiving is to be supportive of giving, to be for giving, to be giving of the love that is at the core. And what does it look like if we live in a constant state of remembering who we are? And who we are is the outflow of the divine, the expression of God itself, rooted in the impression of that creative spirit upon itself. We are the outflow of that. And so we're living in a constant state of flow, flowing in and as divine love, God. So just taking a breath into that. I want to say hello to everyone who is watching us online. Whether you're watching live on this Sunday morning or watching at another time in our video archive, please know that your energy is felt as part of this experience here today. And I'm so grateful that you've decided to join us. And if you're watching us for the first time today, we'd love to continue this connection. If you go to unitytucson.com/connect and fill out some information there, we can allow the conversation to continue. And I'm so grateful that you are spending some time with us. So thank you for being present. And if you're here in the room for the first time today, I want to extend a special welcome to you as well. As you were coming in, you may have been invited to receive a gift. If you did not receive that gift, it is available at the completion of the celebration today. But in addition to that gift, there is something that we always like to share with those who are joining us for the first time. And so here's the caveat. If you are comfortable with identifying yourself as someone joining us for the first time, would you please either stand up or raise your hand? Is there anyone joining us for the first time? Welcome. Grateful to have you here. Grateful to have you here. Blessings. And here's what we would like to share with you. Shall we say this together? You are magnificent. Yes, you are. So grateful that you're shining your light and sharing your magnificence with us. And I think that we should all exclaim our sense of magnificence for ourselves. Let's say this together, everyone, shall we? I am magnificent. Does that feel good? Yes. So good we can do it again? Yes. All right, let's say it again. I am magnificent, beautiful. Oh, well, one of the magnificent ways that we celebrate is by honoring all faith traditions, all religious paths, all spiritual ideas, with this idea that they are all rooted in one thing, and that is love. And this month we have been exploring for each one of the traditions that we're honoring the nature or understanding within each of that which is beyond, the nature of God, the higher power, the life force, whatever that particular tradition calls it. And so here to guide us in today's Flames of Faith ceremony, will you please welcome Greg Poling and Lorraine Pritz.
Good morning. We light a candle for the Tao, which teaches that the Tao is the way that pervades all, reflected as balance, the yin-yang that makes up wholeness. We light a candle for the shamanic traditions, which teaches that everything is living and infused with life force energy. We light a candle for Hinduism, which teaches that there is one supreme reality manifest in many incarnations. We light a candle for Judaism, which teaches one God, one creator of the universe, with whom all can have a personal relationship. We light a candle for all forms of Buddhism, which teaches that nothing is permanent and that there are as many understandings of God as there are people, including no God. We light a candle for all forms of Christianity, which teaches one God expressed as a trinity of Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. We light a candle for all forms of Islam, which teaches that there is one God, Allah, as the one true reality and source of all creation. We light a candle for the universalistic religion of Baha'i, which teaches that there is one God who has been revealed progressively through the world's religions and spiritual traditions over the course of time. We light a candle for all forms of New Thought, which teaches that God is consciousness, infinite intelligence, omnipotence, omnipresence, and omniscience. There is no thing that is not God. We light a candle for all those who are as yet unaware of the power and presence of Spirit in their lives, and for the space that we are holding for them and for all faith traditions unnamed in this ceremony. This final candle is the healing candle. It represents the revealing of the divinity at the core of all experiences. This is your candle for whatever is in your mind and heart that requires the light.
Thank you, Lorraine. Thank you, Greg. Taking a moment to acknowledge the peace candle, which we keep consistently illuminated as a reflection of a consistent illumination of peace within each and every one of us. And as we allow our infinite peace to inform every aspect of our lives, then right where we are, we become expressions of and creators of world peace. Let's honor that understanding by sharing together this prayer for world peace. Divine love indwells each person and radiates from one to another. Harmony is established and peace reigns in the world.
We are held in the hands of grace, forever safe in the arms of love. Like a child receives protection We are held in the hands of grace, forever safe in the arms of love. Like a child receives protection from a mother's warm embrace, we are held in the hands of grace. We are held in the hands of grace.
Thank you, Aaron. Here to guide us with a reading in our monthly affirmation and also in prayer, will you please welcome one of our glorious prayer chaplains, Cindy Gardner.
Good morning, my beloved community. I have a little bit of uncertainty about, am I thinking the right thing about flow? And so I asked the great theologist Google this week what it means to be in the flow. And here's what Google told me. Being in the flow is a spiritual state of alignment with the universe, characterized by effortless action, deep presence, and non-resistance to life's unfolding. I thought, yes, I can get on board with that. I think we're on the same page, so thank you, Dr. AI. For me, being in the flow is easier to understand when I am confident that I really am aligned with the universe. In other words, loved unconditionally. And so I appreciate this quote from Mr. Rogers, Fred Rogers, who really was a theologian. Knowing that we can be loved exactly as we are gives us all the best opportunity for growing into the healthiest of people. I'd like to change a bit of Mr. Rogers' wording to something a little more affirmative. Knowing that we are loved exactly as we are gives us all the best opportunity for growing into the healthiest of people. So I thank Mr. Rogers as well for the reminders of who we are. And I'd also like to thank Reverend Jonathan for the reminder that we are more than in the flow as we say this month's affirmation, which is, I relax, I know, I am the flow. Let's say that together. I relax, I know, I am the flow. And shall we do that one more time? I relax, I know, I am the flow. And if you would, I invite you to join me in prayer now. Let there be a breath, followed by another natural, relaxing breath, allowing each breath to remind us that prayer moves through us, through everyone holding sacred space in this moment. The one power, one presence, invites divine flow, the divine flow of love, the perfect flow of peace, the flow of beauty, the flow of life itself. This power of life flows through every cell. This energy is holy and vibrant. It strengthens what is weak, illuminates what needs to be known, and energizes every thought, every dream. Grateful to be in the flow of love, I see the sacred in every person and every situation. In gratitude for peace, I allow it to expand, filling my awareness completely. I am alive with divine vitality. my appreciation for the beauty all around me grows. Through gratitude, I recognize how richly I am supplied, and I release all thoughts of lack. In complete trust that this is true for all of us, I do relax and know I am the flow as we each are. And so it is. Amen.
Really beautiful, Cindy. Thank you. We had a guest singer lined up for today who was not able to join us, but has been rescheduled. I'm not going to tell you who it was, but they have been rescheduled. And so when Linda reached out this week and said that our guest singer was not going to be able to join us, she asked if I would sing the song, and I said, sure, why not? And this is a song that's been on my mind a lot recently. I haven't sung it in a couple of years, but I'm grateful to bring it back today. So here we go.
I'm gonna make a change for once in my life. It's gonna feel real good, gonna make a difference, gonna make it right. As I turn up the collar of my favorite winter coat, this wind is blowing my mind. I see the kids in the street with not enough to eat. Who am I to be blind, pretending not to see their needs? A summer's disregard, a broken bottle top, and a one-man soul. They follow each other on the wind, you know, 'cause they got no place to go. That's why I want you to know I'm starting with the man in the mirror. I'm asking him to change his ways, and no message could have been any clearer. If you want to make the world a better place, take a look at yourself and then make a change. Na 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 na. I've been a victim of a selfish kind of love. It's time that I realize there are some with no home, not a nickel to loan. Could it be really me pretending that they're not alone? A willow deeply scarred, somebody's broken heart, and a washed out dream. They follow the pattern of the wind, you see, 'cause they got no place to be. That's why I'm starting with me. I'm starting with the man in the mirror. I'm asking him to change his ways, and no message could have been any clearer. If you want to make the world a better place, take a look at yourself and then make a change. I'm starting with the man in the mirror. I'm asking him to change his ways, and no message could have been any clearer. If you want to make the world a better place, take a look at yourself and then make a change. You gotta get it right while you got the time, 'cause when you close your heart, then you close your mind. I'm starting with the man in the mirror. I'm asking him to change his ways, and no message could have been any clearer. If you want to make the world a better place, take a look at yourself and then make a change. Na 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 na.
Thank you. Yeah, it's been on my mind a lot recently, that song. It's just been like playing over and over in my head. I love that song. I've loved that song for decades. Yeah. Have you ever truly contemplated yourself in the mirror? I'm hearing a lot of yeses, and I'm hearing a lot of, I don't know. You know, there's a spiritual practice that we sometimes go to, which is, to do what we call mirror work. It's a spiritual practice. It's also used in the theater a lot for actors to do mirror work. And we look at ourselves in the mirror and we really contemplate what is it that we are actually seeing in the mirror. When you look in the, and this is a rhetorical question, when you look in the mirror, what is it you are seeing? I really want you to think about that, because, yeah, ostensibly you're seeing a reflection of yourself. But what is yourself? What is your self? And I'm going to say self. Let's capitalize that S, which means what is the divine essence behind just what we perceive to be the reflection? Just think about that for a moment, because what you see in the mirror may not be exactly what you think you see. There's a great contributor to the New Thought spiritual philosophy, Thomas Troward. He's one of my favorite writers. He comes along like later in the progression of the development of the New Thought tradition. He offered this, and I'm paraphrasing it a little bit. He said this: spirit creates by self-contemplation. So let's start there. Spirit creates by self-contemplation. Therefore, what it contemplates itself as being, that it becomes. That's like fundamental New Thought 101. Spirit, God, the infinite power and presence of all creation, it contemplates, and what it contemplates itself as being, that it becomes. So spirit contemplated itself as being this. All of this, everything that exists, spirit has contemplated itself as being all that is, right? He continues on, Troward. He says, you, speaking to us, you are individualized spirit. Therefore, what you contemplate yourself as being, that you become. You have the power of infinite creation because you are individualized spirit. And what you contemplate yourself as being, that you become. Now, that has great news, right? Because it's basically the promise saying we can create the lives we would like to create. We can create lives of abundance. We can create lives of infinite loving relationships. We can create lives of absolute health. We can create lives of glorious expression. But it's also a call to say, well, what lives have we been creating? Because I can look back on my life and see some stuff that I've created. Yeah. And I can go down a path of saying, well, yeah, I created that, and how do I feel about that creation? Because I might start to blame myself if I take to heart the idea that as an individualized expression of spirit, I created that, and then I might start beating myself up for it. That is absolutely worthless to do that. So I just want you to know that. Absolutely worthless to do that. Irrespective of what you created in the past, you are born anew in this moment to create something new, something more constructive, something more loving, something more progressive. And we are each evolving as spirit in every single moment because our minds are facets of the infinite mind. And so the question really is, this is the fundamental question, how are you choosing to use Spirit's creative nature that is your creative nature here and now? And letting go of anything that has preceded this moment, how are you choosing to use it now? Because, as the great master teacher Jesus said, it is done unto you as you believe. Your beliefs are creating the constructs of your life. And you get to choose that. I mentioned it earlier, and I knew that this was going to be part of what I wanted to talk about today, which is why I said one of the principles that we teach is choice and action. We choose to live from these principles, and we activate them in our lives should we decide to choose them and activate them. But you don't have to. No one's requiring you to do it. But what I have found in my life is that the application of these principles, the application of recognizing that I am in a state of infinite choice, has enhanced the quality of my experience, because I don't blame anything outside of myself for what shows up in my life. I got over blaming God for the stuff that was going to happen. Boy, there was a word, the choice word that almost came out there. And I've had some stuff happen in my life. But what's the point of blaming something outside the self? What if we took responsibility to know that I am empowered in this moment to do something, to be something, to allow something new to unfold? We just had the spring equinox. I know it feels like summer. If some of you are connected with me in social media, I posted, I got into my car the other day. I got my hair cut on Thursday, and I got into the car after my haircut. And you know how you have the temperature that reads on your dashboard? 106 degrees on Thursday, the last day of winter. And so I posted the picture of my dashboard. It said, it's the last day of winter, but it's a dry heat. So we just had the spring equinox, and I think that we can look at the spring equinox as a metaphor, right? I mean, it's not uncommon that we use these kinds of events as metaphor. And the metaphor is this, that life is always moving toward greater expression of itself. That's the nature of spring. I love, and I know a lot of people think that the Palo Verde trees are causing them distress. Go look it up. It's not the Palo Verde trees. It's something else that's blooming, but it's not the Palo Verde trees, but I love the yellow blossoms of the Palo Verde trees. And I love seeing everything exploding into color right now. It's just absolutely exquisite. And that is the nature of life itself. It is always seeking expression. And it is always seeking expression by means of each and every one of us. So something is always ready to bloom, to open, and to emerge, and it's always ready within each and every one of us. That's living in the absolute flow. That's living in the absolute flow. So the question really then is, are we resisting it? Are we in resistance to that flow, or are we in alignment with that flow? It took me a long time to stop resisting the flow, to be okay with saying, yeah, all is well, and I can live and be and thrive just as I am in the here and now, because this is it. This is the only thing that exists, the here and now. The past no longer exists. The future does not exist. This is it, right here, right now. And so I go back to that question that kind of starts this whole line of thought. If I'm standing there looking at myself in the mirror, what am I contemplating myself as being? What am I contemplating myself as being? I'm not going to tell you what my answer is. I want you to understand what your answer is. What am I contemplating myself as being? And how is that working for me? How is that working for me? Is it a contemplation of self that is in support of a thriving life? Or is it something else? And who then is in charge of addressing it if it is something other than thriving? Because if I can no longer put blame on anything outside the self, if I can no longer put blame on God or on anybody else in my life, I used to blame people for my life. I'm glad I got over that. Taking responsibility, how's that working for me? And am I ready to become something else? And to know that there is an infinite divine power of creation that is who and what I am. It is who and what each and every one of us is. And we have the capacity to create something else infinitely. It can be whatever we decide for it to be. That's the promise. That's the promise of the New Thought spiritual philosophy. We can create extraordinary lives. We can create extraordinary lies. Lies. That was maybe a little Freudian slip. I can look back on my life and say, yes, there were times in my life where I think I created extraordinary lies. I don't do that anymore. But I can also create extraordinary life as me. So flow You know, we've been talking about flow this whole month. The theme has been flow. Flow is not just about circumstances progressing smoothly in a linear fashion in our lives. It's about being in the consciousness of moving deliberately in all aspects of being. That's what flow is about. It's about knowing that we're always part of the infinite. And we can never be separate from it. It is absolutely impossible to be separate from the infinite. Absolutely impossible. And the minute we think that we're separate from the infinite, we are inviting discord into our lives. And so the call today is to embody this idea of being one as the one power, the one presence, the one unified wholeness. The first two principles are God is all there is, and that's who and what we are. We cannot be separate from it. So let us move deliberately through, in, and as consciousness itself, and also open up to the idea of always wondering, considering what are we consenting to be in any given moment. I have in my life consented to be a very unkind person. Not anymore. Deb's eyes just went, what? Like, oh my gosh. Yeah, there was a time in my life where I was not so kind. But I was living in reaction to things outside the self. I was living in reactivity. And it's very easy to live in reactivity. I could be in a reactive state to everything that is happening in the world around us, or I can be the point of creation for the peace that it is that I choose to experience in my day-to-day life. You know, I know I talk about this peace candle all the time. This peace candle is one of the most important symbols for me in this entire sanctuary. Because, like I say, it never turns off. We keep this peace candle consistently illuminated. I know that you know it's a fake candle, so we're not like breaking any fire codes or anything like that. But it was so important to me that I asked that we wire it so that it's not battery operated. It's actually plugged in. But the idea that this light is always illuminated no matter what, as a reflection of that light inherent in each and every one of us, it's one of the most important symbols that, for me, that I've adopted in my passion for ministry. Do you recognize the light within yourself? Open up to the realization that irrespective of what you think about that light, whether you think that it has been extinguished or not, it is alive within you. It is part of who you are. It can never be extinguished. All we can do is try to dim it. Open up. Open up in this moment to a greater realization that you are the light of life itself. You are the light of love itself. You are the light of divinity itself. Begin to understand that when you look in the mirror, that is what you see. And the truth of us, actually, is what is behind the seeing. What I mean by that is, we are not necessarily the form we see in the mirror. We are that which is doing the seeing. The truth of us is that which is doing the seeing. All we see in the mirror is a representation. But there's a truth behind that representation that is more profound than any physical form. We engaged the beginning of our prayer chaplain training yesterday. Spent some time with some glorious new recruits in our prayer chaplain team. And one of the things that we do invite is this call for the prayer chaplains, that when we are looking and working with people in our spiritual community in prayer work, that our job as ministers, as spiritual leaders, as prayer chaplains, is to look beneath the effect, to look past the effect that anyone may come to us with. Someone may come to me and say, you know what, I'm having a really challenging time financially. We look past the effect because financial challenge is not part of divinity itself. Abundance is an aspect and expression of divinity. And so we look through the financial challenge, the effect, and we affirm the spiritual truth of infinite abundance on behalf of that individual and on behalf of ourselves. Because the other thing I tell all the prayer chaplains, I say, work your stuff out, because that which you have not worked out, I guarantee you the people that come to you for prayer are going to be working on the stuff you're working on. It's the nature of things. It's the law of attraction working itself out. And so work it out. Know the truth. Embody the principle. Look beneath the effect. Look through the effect. Deepen into a causative awareness. And so the invitation is really to take responsibility for our lives. That's the full invitation today, to take responsibility. But we don't need to do so with any sense of shame or blame, because that will get us nowhere. It only holds us back. You needn't use your mind to reinforce old fears or old identities or old limitation, but instead align with infinite truth, align with infinite possibility, and align with infinite power, because each and every one of us is an expression of infinite truth, an expression of infinite possibility, and an expression of infinite power. That is the truth of our identity. When we stop living as victims of appearance, we start living from empowered spiritual authority. That is our DNA. Y'all know that I like initialisms and acronyms. And our DNA is inherent in who we are, right? So you know what our DNA is? It is our divine natural authority. That is the truth of our being. Remember who you are. You are the divine natural authority of your life. Everything flowing in your life is the result of something in your use of this infinite mind, your use of this infinite consciousness. It is rooted in a belief system that is either working for you or not, but you get to decide what your belief system is. No one can decide that for you except yourself. So, what have I accepted in appearances as real in my life? That's a great question to ask. What have we accepted in the world of appearance as real? And is that the final answer? I can tell you the answer is no. The answer is always no. Even if it seems like the most magnificent expression of spirit we could possibly comprehend, there's always something more, because spirit is infinite, and the nature of the infinite is there is always something more to be expressed. So what have we accepted in the realm of appearance as real? If it's not working for you, the work is to change mind, knowing you're part of the infinite flow. What might change when I remember that I am the one doing the seeing? Spring is a season of emergence. And flow, being in the flow is not about forcing anything. It's about consenting to that deeper movement of life inherent in each and every one of us. Because spiritual life is expressed as individual life. The wholeness of us is spiritual. You can never be more spiritual than you are right now, because you are 100% spirit, you are 100% divine, you are 100% God. So perhaps the call is actually simple. Contemplate the self more truthfully as spirit. Use mind more intentionally as spirit, and spring into the flow of life. Peace and blessings. You are magnificent. For those of you who are new to our community, one of the things that I offer every week is a way that we can take the message of the day and apply it practically in our lives. We call it the life practice, and this is the life practice that I'm offering this week. If you find yourself in a challenge or difficult circumstance, anyone ever have that? Take a moment to place your hand on your heart in that challenge or difficult circumstance and remind yourself I choose to see this through the eyes of spirit and not the limited experience or appearance. That's the word. I choose to see this through the eyes of spirit and not the limited appearance. Allow yourself to take that as a practice. If you'd like to take a photograph of the slide, it is also always posted on our website after the service, usually by Monday. So please do take advantage of the practices that we offer here. I'm going to invite us all to take a breath, to allow ourselves to come to a centered awareness and check in and see if there's any kernel of an idea of truth that has resonated with us, perhaps more profoundly than any other. Opening up to a greater realization of the one power, the one presence, the one creative source that we call God, knowing that it is expressing itself fully, wholly, right here and right now, in this pure, perfect moment of silence.
In the silence there is peace. In the silence there is unspoken joy. In the silence there's release. As my heart opens up to the voice, I awake to these precious moments when I hear all that could ever be said, and right here in this holy silence I find God, I find myself.
I find God, I find myself, because I find myself when I find God. And when I find myself, I find God. They are one and the same. There is absolutely no separation. There is only this one unified wholeness, one magnificence flowing in and as all that is. We are, each and every one of us, the identity of God itself, living its life, calling it our own, experiencing it as love. We are living the experience and expression of the most holy. And so I know that as we allow ourselves to recognize that we are always in the flow of goodness, that we are empowered moment by moment to create lives of extraordinary magnificence. We are empowered, for we are the power itself. And so I choose in this moment to be the power. I trust and know that each and every one of us makes appropriate choices in support of the extraordinary lives we all seek to experience and express. And so it's with gratitude and appreciation overflowing from within that I simply allow this to be. I affirm it as so, by saying, and so it is. Amen.
In the silence there is peace. In the silence there is unspoken joy. In the silence there's release. As my heart opens up to the voice, I awake to these precious moments when I hear all that could ever be said, and right here in this holy
Oh, hi, Deb. How are you today? Yeah, you are. I'm great.
in the flow.
You are in the flow. Well, we're all in the flow, and one of the ways that we celebrate flow is through our giving consciousness here. We don't pass the baskets, but there are ways that you can give electronically. There's a basket by the door there, and there's a donation box in the lobby. But it's an acknowledgement of our infinite abundance because we are all part of the infinite flow, right?
Yes.
Yes. And so here to guide us in our abundance prayer, our abundance consciousness prayer, please welcome Gloria's prayer chaplain, Deb Benson.
Thank you. Will you say with me, I have the faith of the source as my instant and constant supply and supplier. I have the faith of the one to open ways when, to the human sense, there seems to be no way. I have the faith of the infinite to guide me in all ways, knowing health, happiness, and prosperity are assured. I am steeped in gratitude and appreciation for the abundant good now flowing forth, meeting my every need. And so it is. Amen.
Thank you so much, Deb. Here's what's happening at Unity of Tucson.
Good morning, Unity of Tucson. It is Sunday, March 22nd, 2026, and here's what's happening in our magnificent spiritual community. Something new is emerging. It's a call to move from me and into we. The Unity Southwest region is inviting you to join with other spiritual seekers and leaders June 8th through 11th, 2026 at the Franciscan Renewal Center in Phoenix for their biannual retreat, Spark the Weevolution. Gather in a shared field of presence, sacred music, deep wisdom, and inspired awakening. Register now at unityswregion.org. Come see Dr. Jonathan in Noel Coward's Oh Coward. This delightfully intimate review features Noel Coward's songs and sketches sparkling with dry as a martini wit. Tickets for Unity Night on Tuesday, April 28th at 7:30 p.m., a special performance just for us, are available in the Desert Light Book and Gift Store only. Can't make it for Unity's special performances? Get tickets for other dates at invisibletheater.com. Amy Steinberg brings her bold, hilarious, and heartwarming one-woman show, Ministar, A Cosmic Revival, to Unity of Tucson on Saturday, May 16th at 7:30 p.m. Through original music, storytelling, and theatrical flair, she takes us into her dollhouse of the soul, where creativity heals, identity shines, and inner light awakens. Part revival, part comedy, part concert, Ministar is a joyful reminder that every light matters. Advance tickets are $25 in the Desert Light Book and Gift Store or online at unitytucson.com. Are you interested in learning more about Unity of Tucson and what membership means? Join Reverend Jonathan March 29th at 11:45 a.m. in the Rainbow Room for our quarterly membership orientation meeting. If you're interested in attending via Zoom, please contact the office. Events, classes, connection. To find out more, look for the information boards in the lobby, Community Alcove, or the Desert Light Book and Gift Store. You can also refer to the weekly printed flyer or explore online at unitytucson.com. Make your week magnificent.
Yes, indeed. Make your week magnificent. There is something that is unfolding in our community that I want to acknowledge, and that is the departure of two of our glorious prayer chaplains who are headed back to South Dakota. And they have been spending their winters here in Tucson with us for several years, and it looks like this may be their last winter here. Is that correct? Yeah. So I want to honor and bless Dr. Jim Gardner and Cindy Gardner. And I'm going to invite you. Would you mind coming up on stage for a moment, Jim and Cindy? I think that it is only appropriate that we send them off, because this is going to be your last Sunday with us, with our Unity blessing. So if you would please come here and let us all just take this opportunity to send some energy their way. And it's going to come up on the screen. Let's say this together, shall we? We love you, we bless you, we appreciate you, and we behold the Christ you are. I'm so grateful for your service to our community.
Just a little something.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
Every week we ask who might be here for the first time, and they're offered a gift. Today is our last time here, potentially anyway, and I just wanted to let you know that you are all a gift to us, and we appreciate you so much. All the friendships we've made, the things we've learned, the classes, the training, just the connections. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
We're taking you with us in our heart as we go, and we'll never forget you.
Thank you. I want to say thank you to everybody who made today's extraordinary celebration so remarkable. Of course, I want to say thank you to Cindy for your glorious reading, leading us in affirmation, guiding us in prayer. And I know that this is not the end. This is not the end, but I'm so grateful to you. I want to say thank you to Deb for guiding us in our meditation this morning, also guiding us in the abundance consciousness prayer. Cindy and Deb, of course, will be available at the completion of the celebration. They'll remain here in the sanctuary if you would like a moment of prayer with them. Also, anybody who's wearing a purple stole, there's Beryl wearing her purple stole, is a prayer chaplain, and if they're wearing their stole, it says that they are available for prayer with you. So please, utilize our prayer consciousness here. It's fundamental to what we teach and do here at Unity. I want to say thank you to our keepers of the flames today, Greg Pauling and Lorraine Pritz. Thank you for guiding us in the Flames of Faith ceremony. I want to say thank you to everyone in the bookstore, Carol and Jerry. Thank you for your service in the bookstore today. Yes. Of course, grateful for our greeters, grateful for our hospitality team. Today it was led by our board of directors, so grateful for our board of directors. Please do join us in Harmony Hall following the celebration today for coffee and snacks and fellowship. It's a great way to get to know people on a deeper level here in our community, so please do take advantage of that. I want to say thank you to our technical team, Don and Aiden and Jim and Gavin back there. Thank you so much for all you do. This extraordinary music team, Paul Gibson, Aaron Anderson, Rafael Carruthers, led by our very own Linda Ackerman. Thank you for blessing my life with music. I'm so grateful. And I want to say thank you to each and every one of you for making your presence known here in this thing called life. I am so blessed by you in my life. And let's bless each other and keep the blessings going. What do you say? Yeah. Absolutely. All right, so as we complete our time here today, let us share these words of divine awareness, and that will lead us into our final song. Let's say this together. I am infinite light. I am infinite love. I am infinite power. I am infinite presence. Wherever God is, I am. Wherever I am, God is. And so it is. Amen. Feel free to move your body if you like.
Well, you gotta meet your hello. Open up your eyes, it's time to realize now is the time to shine. Baby, you're a goat, and everybody knows you got it, and it flows from your soul. Sugar, you're a star, even with your flaws, you're unstoppable. Can't nobody bring you down when you're high. All you got to do is love yourself. And if you just believe that you're really all you need, you won't need nobody else. Get up. If you love yourself, get up. If you love yourself, get up. If you love yourself, get up. If you love yourself. If you love yourself, get up. If you love yourself, get up. If you love yourself, get up. From sea to shining sea, we all can come together, make the world much better, Get up on your feet, we're dancing in the streets, celebrating liberty. Yeah, we've come this far, but got so far to go. Hold on, baby, don't let go. If you feel alone, just listen to this song. Love yourself, you can't go wrong. Can't nobody bring you down when you're high. All you got to do is love yourself. And if you just believe that you're really all you need, you won't need nobody else. If you love yourself, get up. If you love yourself. If you love yourself, get up. If you love yourself, get up. If you love yourself, get up. Can't nobody bring you down when you're high. All you got to do is love yourself. And if you just believe that you're really all you need, you won't need nobody else. Get up. If you love yourself, get up. If you love yourself, get up. If you love yourself, get up. If you love yourself. If you love yourself, get up. If you love yourself, get up. If you love yourself, get up. Make it a magnificent week, everyone.